Welcome back, my dear friends, to a mother's journey to holistic health and healing. I'm your host, Marissa Prieto. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in today. We're still running this series on, the energy healing modalities for optimal well-being. So I've got maybe another 1 or 2 more podcast episodes for this series that I have going on. And if you haven't yet, go back to the very first one on the power of meditation. So one of the reasons that I wanted to bring this series to you is because, well, I guess like in the title, there truly is power behind these energy healing modalities, and not just to help us release anxiety, to help us release unwanted energies, to make us feel better. There lies greater connection with these energy healing modalities, a connection to our body, to our own soul, our own spirit within us that has been buried deep, and a connection to the higher power, whether for you that's God, creator, source, the universe. Maybe you don't have one and you're thinking about it. Like, these energy healing modalities can connect us to not just our physical bodies and our mental bodies, but our emotional and to spirit as well. And I think that because of that connection that we strengthen, not just within our bodies, but with spirit, we feel more purpose, we have more clarity, more focus, more strengthening of our intuition that helps as a guide to help us live more life, to help us live life more in alignment with what we want, with what our soul wants, with what you want. It's just through all of our conditioning and things that have impacted us over time, and people and experiences and belief systems and all kinds of things. It just gets buried down there. And I think when we put these, I feel strongly that when we put these practices into place, little by little, we are uncovering layers of our soul. We're uncovering the pieces of us that have been longing to be seen, been felt, been heard, to living this life that truly is one of love and of abundance and of what we want most out of life. And that's what I feel from these modalities is where that power is that it ultimately can help us get deeper, layer after layer after layer after layer, uncovering these gifts, uncovering these visions of what you want for yourself, and how you want to feel, and how you want to move around in the world, and what you want to do. Maybe you're in an unhealthy or unhappy relationship or job, circumstances that you just want to change, but you're not sure what needs to change. So I feel like putting these practices personally into my own personal life, but having clients that I've worked with, them start incorporating some of these into their lives as well, have had some pretty profound shifts and transformation in their life. Not one day to the next, but over time, putting these practices into place. And that's why I wanted to bring these to you. In today's episode, I am getting into the power of movement. And not just movement, but also intuitive movement. And what I mean by that is you just move your body freely without instruction, without a plan, without guidance. Well, maybe you receive guidance, actually, no, from, I don't know, spirit or your ancestors. But, it's kind of just you're using your intuition to move whatever needs to be moved in your body. You have this connection with your body that your body is maybe giving you an invitation of, it needs to be moved right now. This and this in your hips, or this here in your upper body, or whatever, is giving you some kind of invitation with sending you messages with maybe certain tensions or tightness you might feel in your body in certain areas, or even certain emotions that might be trapped in certain areas of your body, energies that could be trapped, that through movement and moving intuitively, of tuning into what your body needs and what would feel good, can help to release that. And that's what I've seen, and that's what I've felt. And have heard it, just through various podcasts and readings and books. But having actually to put it into practice and feel the benefits of it is pretty powerful and beautiful and humbling at the same time. And so I think too, like something to kind of cover or bring to the surface is asking yourself, like, what's your relationship with movement? First of all, before even getting to intuitive movement, because I feel like a lot of people, especially women and moms, tie movement or quote unquote exercise to an outcome in terms of results of how they want to look, or a certain number on the scale. It's like not uncommon for most women to associate exercise with weight loss or to get a certain look, just because, again, the society we live in, the culture, things that we see, things that we hear, that we're taught from a young age. You need to exercise to lose weight. You need to exercise to do this. You need to exercise to do that, right? Which was a big one for me. For many, 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 many years, all I used exercise was for quote unquote burning the fat, aesthetics, getting a certain look. And then I got into bodybuilding, and then I got heavily into yoga, trying to get that quote unquote yoga look, until I found my peace, until I found, why I wanted to move my body. And that was when I became a mom. And that's when my whole mindset started to shift around it, because I knew how toxic and how unhealthy my relationship, my beliefs and thoughts were about exercise, about movement. And so little by little, I started to do the healing and work around that. And that could be another podcast episode. So I feel like that probably that's what needed to happen, is I needed to experience all that in order to heal through my relationship with exercise, to get to where I'm at now with movement and intuitive movement. And I see that now, that path that it's led me to get to where I'm at now, is to help guide others, women and moms that maybe are in that place and don't think that it's possible for them to not associate exercise with weight loss, or, that can create a lot of barriers and lead to inconsistency for some people, and then just not wanting to do it because they're not getting the result that they want to see, right? Meaning the body or the weight or the number on the scale. So I think that's really important to acknowledge, is to think about what's your relationship with exercise, activity, movement, like whatever you want to call it. And what do you use it for, right? And if you notice some emotions, feelings of like resistance, or you do it as like a means to burn the calories, or all of these things that I mentioned that I felt, is not, like I said, it's not uncommon. It's pretty much normal for most people, and that's okay, because again, it makes sense because of the society we live in. But is that something that you want to continue doing? Do you want to continue to feel, that way about exercise? Is that going to be something that you want to model to your children? Do you want them to see that in order for you to get a certain look, you have to move your body this way, you got to lift the weights, you got to run, you got to do all this and that to get this certain look? Is that what you want to model to your children, that your looks is a sign of your worth? Which was a big one for me and for a lot of people. It's pretty common, right? And is that what you want to continue to hold for yourself, believe for yourself? And is that what you want your children to see? Because I know that for my son and my daughters, I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to see movement. And as they do now, right, I feel like that's where that healing comes, is with our inner child. And when it all began is recalling, remembering those moments in our childhood when we were active, of all the joy that I bring. Like, we ran just to run, and we, what do you call it? Did the, what is that called? When you like do the squares. It's right there in the tip of my tongue, but I cannot think of it at the moment. Scotch hop, or what is it? I can't think of it right now. Hopscotch. Hopscotch, hula hoop, rollerblading, bike riding, like all the things that were fun. And we did them just to do them because they were fun and they were enjoyable, which is how movement really should be. So I feel like when we have that mentality and that relationship with why you move your body, and it's from a place of love, it's from a place of self-care, it's from a place of connection, creation, self-expression, right? It's a way to self-express ourselves. And for, like, let's give an example of dancers. Dancers use dance as a way to express themselves, just like an artist would to create their art. They will use that as an expression to express themselves, how they feel. It's an expression for themselves. So I feel like through movement, it's the same thing. And it can be any kind of movement. Like for me personally, mine for a long time was through weights. And then it moved into yoga. And it still continues to be yoga. And more recently, up until earlier of this year, has just been intuitive movement. And it will be like however my body wants to move. So whatever I'm listening to, it really will I will just move my body in a way that feels good to me, that I just kind of let myself release and be free. And it could be like similar as in a dance. It could be like I'm just shaking my body and moving my arms and I'm just doing whatever it is that I need to do to shake off, clear, release whatever emotions are stuck in my body, whatever energy that needs to be released. So that way I can feel a bit more at ease, more at calm, let that energy flow a little bit more easily. So that's something I would encourage you to do, is to start playing with intuitive movement. Like put on whatever music you like. I don't know, is it reggaeton? Is it, hip hop? Is it or looking for new different types of music that you could move your body in a way that you wouldn't normally move your body. And just have fun with it and just play with it. And you'll see and you'll find how good it feels. So our ancestors, and this goes back to many cultures, right? They use dance in their ceremonies, as their traditions. They did certain movements, certain dances to release certain energies or certain emotions, because they can get stuck. And for most women, a lot of us, we hold it in our hips and in our upper body. So there are, I can't remember the name of the movement. It's not coming to me at the time, but there are certain cultures that do a particular movement, a certain dance. It has a name for their hips, because they know that this is a lot of stored energy. It can be found here, emotions and energy that needs to be released. And so when we can do certain movements with our hips or certain dances or anything like that, just really to express and shake it off and release it, that is intuitive movement. And you can see that with time and through practice, when you tap into that, it's actually kind of like you are connecting with your ancestors in some sort of way. Like because there's some sort of that DNA within us. That part of them is within us, in our spirit and our soul. So when you get back into these movements, it's like a remembrance. It's like a remembrance of something that you may have done, whether it's, if you believe in a past life, or that your ancestors did before. It's been passed on generation to generation, and it's still somewhere in your soul that you are now remembering how to move. And like I said, it gets buried with years and years and years and all this conditioning of how to act, of how to talk, of how to look, and all this, and how to move, that it gets forgotten. So when you connect to all these energy healing modalities, the breath, the meditation, the music, the sound, the singing, the chanting, the dance, the intuitive movement is a strong connection that enhances just like this sensation of feeling free, coming back into your body, coming back into your home. And when you have practice and you bring it back and back in again and again and again, you're going to start craving it more and more and more, because you know what it does for you. You know how you feel when you do it. It's one of your own ways to express yourself, right? This freedom of expression. And it doesn't have to look a certain way, right? So I think one thing that can be a barrier is like, oh, I feel dumb doing this, or I feel stupid, or like I must look dumb, or I have no rhythm, or like whatever of the unsupportive thoughts that are there in your brain is from past experiences of feeling any kind of shame, insecurities, doubt, or anything like that. And it's prevented you from doing it again. I have clients that tell me like, I love to dance, but I don't want to go to dance classes because I know I'm going to feel stupid. I'm going to look dumb because I haven't danced in a long time, and I don't feel safe, and this and that. And so, which is, makes sense. It totally makes sense. Why not start doing it at home, in your own home, where you feel safe, where you can release, where you can move and do whatever it is that you want to do to your body to feel good, feel powerful, feel strong, feel connected, feel safe, feel loved in your body. And that is the power that it brings when you connect to movement, especially intuitive movement. So here is my homework for you. I want you, whether it's go to YouTube and look up, music for your hips, music to move your hips, or like traditional, whatever certain culture, maybe that your culture, traditional music for blank culture. Or if you like, like I mentioned, reggaeton or salsa, whatever kind of music, like put it on, maybe something slow. Maybe you're feeling in a mood of like slow sensual movement, because this also taps into your sacral chakras, your root chakras, this part of sensuality, of sexuality that for a lot of us, we get shamed about. And we hide that. And that's why a lot of us have these insecurities or have these issues with our partners. And that creates anxiety there. So when we bring intuitive movement and you're moving your hips in a certain way freely, right? Feeling more sensual, bringing this connection, it can help heal that. It can help heal whatever kind of past trauma, whatever kind of experiences that blocked this certain energy in your sacral and root chakra of your sexuality, your sensuality. All of that is an important part of our health and well-being, and it affects us in ourselves and our relationships. So this part of the energy healing with movement and intuitive movement can truly heal that when we allow ourselves to be more free, to move more freely. And when I started to put that into practice and move certain ways, especially around my hips, a lot of activity, a lot of movement and activation in my hips, things got a lot better with me and my partner, intimate wise. I changed my thoughts about certain things that I had. I had started having less insecurities. It just got a lot better. And I was able to feel more comfortable in my body. And I've healed a lot of things at a traumatic event from childbirth through this intuitive movement. And it just takes some really good music, or maybe just thinking of the music that you like and just moving your body in a certain way that you feel called to, that your body is just craving you to do. And you'll know it when you start doing it. And when you can get past those thoughts of, oh, you look so silly, or this is dumb, or whatever, the body image parts of it, like that can be healed. That can heal some of the body image as well. It's because you start to feel more safe in your body. You start to feel sexy, good, confident in your body. It is so healing. And it takes things on a different level. So I encourage you, find that music. If you want to do it when nobody's home, do it when nobody's home. And just move your body in a way. Maybe you always felt of going to pole dancing or, I don't know, a certain exercise class, but you never wanted to. So maybe you do a little bit on the YouTube to get an idea. And then little by little, you start to craft and create your own over time. Maybe you get a YouTube video for yoga and you start to do some movement and flow with yoga. And little by little over time, you start to create your own. This is all the things that I do, that I help my clients with. I help them figure out a plan, action steps to take, what will help you to XYZ. Okay, let's start here, right? Is to help organize a plan of action and taking baby steps to that, and help getting through some of those barriers, particularly your mindset, and where to fit it into your day and how, right? So this is all the work that I do, that I help my clients with. So I hope this was helpful, and that you just try it out, look up maybe intuitive movement if you feel like you need a guide or something. But I would encourage you to first, without even looking it up, just finding that music that you want to move to and just move your body freely, and forget about how it looks or, any of those, just because it's also a form of meditation. Just allow yourself to clear your mind. Give yourself permission to clear your mind, to just be in your body, and to connect with your body and your soul, your spirit. Maybe light a candle or incense, and then just move your body for at least that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and see what that feels like. I would love to know your experience and how you felt. So please feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram, connect with me there, or email me. And if you're interested in working together, please, I am accepting right now 1 or 2 clients right now. I have spots available for 1 or 2 clients right now. You can message me and we can schedule a time for a consultation call to talk about what your struggles are, how I can help you, my services. I work with my clients for 6 months at a time, and payment plans and all that we can get into. But if you're ready, you're really truly ready to dive into a new level of yourself in your health and well-being, transform these habits so that you can also be a model for your kids. You don't want them to have these same cycles that have been passed down to you generation to generation to generation. You want to break these cycles and be the first one to do that, so that way your kids aren't going to go down that similar path and struggles. It starts with you. Nobody's going to take better care of you than yourself, but you've got to be willing, you want to be ready and care enough to do it. So, serious inquiries only, please. And I am here to help you along the way. So that's your homework, my friends. Give it a try and let me know how you feel, what you noticed. I can't wait to hear from you. And I'll see you next time. You all take care.